Live, y'all.
Start your show now. Press 1. If you have important instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 26 seconds. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shoot. Hey, I need to see it. Yeah, that's her for the rant. I need to send that over. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening or good afternoon, you guys. Hello. Y'all know me as Terror Queen Jamila. Y'all know I call myself Goddess Jamila, Goddess Rain. I've got many different names, Wildflower, but it's me. I'm not going to be on camera. And you know what? I'm not even going to be able to stay that long for this one. What you guys are going to see float up to the website is Sex Alchemy classes. These are going to be one-on-one courses that I will do with people on an individual basis, either on the phone, in person, or via Skype. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, in person, what is she going to be doing? Having sex with people? No. So don't contact me thinking that I'm going to have sex magic with you, or anything like that. So no, that's not what I'm saying. But mainly it will be over the phone and via Skype because, not all of my clients are local in Georgia. I do get a lot of people local. I do. I get a lot of people. I do readings for people. I actually have in-person clients that come to the house. They're females, but they come to the house, so it's safe and everything. Don't think that I'm, putting it all at risk or anything like that. Everybody is always, oh, I'm so concerned, So I want to talk about sex alchemy briefly today because I do have readings that are scheduled this evening. So you guys can feel free to call in. I will, try to take a couple of calls if you guys want to talk about sex alchemy, sex magic, or healing or whatever it is that you want to ask me. You can call in to 516-590-0362 if you want to talk to me live today. If you guys want to contact me about a reading or other spiritual services, the link to my website, all of my contact information is below in the video description box. Okay. The quickest way to reach me is to just go to the website, place your order. You're going to hear from me within an hour, unless it's late at night or if I'm really, really busy that day. But you're going to get the booking link very quickly because I always act very quickly. Okay. So let's talk about sex alchemy and sex magic for healing. First of all of you guys that have based a lot of your sexuality around being celibate, you have completely buried about 95% of your power when you do that. So just to let you guys know, it's a personal choice that a lot of people make, but I would suggest actually masturbation, when you think about it, can sometimes possibly be a lot more dangerous than having a sexual partner. So a lot of people are scared. So if you base your sexuality surrounding celibacy, there are risks in everything that you do. Okay, we are all sexual beings. And what happens and what I've noticed is that what happens is that your key energy is being stored right down there by the root chakra. So this is not lower level magic by any means. Sex magic is very high magic if you know what you're doing. Okay. And so what happens when you go celibate is a lot of your kundalini gets trapped. And so this is where the fibroid tumors come in. This is where the cancer comes in. This is where the inflammation comes in, and the heavy periods and the self-hatred. Okay. So what happens is it builds up instead of being able to dissipate or to regulate all of those energies that need to flow through your body. So, for example, when you go years and years without sex, you run the risk of developing heart disease. Why? Because your heart is not getting enough energy. Okay. There are some people that are very, very healthy. They heal themselves through sex magic and through sex alchemy, and they can have sex for hours. But if you're sick and you're not feeling well and everything is all messed up, you may be having anxiety. You may be feeling like you're tired or, oh my God, I'm out of breath. And so those energies are very, very negative, and those energies are affecting your body. So what I want to, the classes that I'm going to have is to reteach people how to get in touch with their sexual selves, because your sexual self is where you originated in the womb. When you were in your mother's womb, okay? And so there's many, many steps, and there's many, many things. I always preach to you guys to make sure that you are taking your spiritual baths, to make sure that you take baths, make sure that you're recreating the womb. Okay, even if your mother's womb was toxic, still recreate the womb within the water, within the bathtub, okay? So you can actually heal through having sex. So there's a lot of people that have these fears of, STDs and AIDS. And, you guys think that some of these paranoid people, they think that I'm a part of the agenda to try to kill off all life with AIDS. So a lot of y'all thinking, oh, she's telling us to have sex, she must be bad. And you know what? It's because that knowledge has been kept from you, and you've been told a lie. Everything that you were told was backwards. So it is, nobody says that you just have to go around humping everybody walking the earth. Nobody said to do that. But for you to shut yourself off and shut yourself down, and for you to feel bad about yourself as a sexual human being, it's not going to do anything but bring death and destruction and cancer into your life. Now, that's not to say that people that are very, very sexually active, that they don't have health problems. Nobody said that, but it's all about your intent, and it's all about who's benefiting. Okay, so when it comes to sex magic, for example, some people think of being married as being sex magic. That's just the beginning. That's the covenant. That is the arrangement that you make. That is the promise that you make to each other. Whatever it is that you're going to agree to under the marriage, which is different for everybody, right? And so, when you are having sex magic, it has to be with somebody that knows exactly what is happening. For example, if you both don't know and are not aware of what's happening, let's say, for example, if you have a sexual experience and both of you orgasm in synchronicity, that is a very powerful moment. But if one person doesn't understand the power within that, then that energy can be lost to another entity or something else that we can't even see. Or maybe it'll just get lost in the ether for you to recapture it. Okay, so sex magic involves a lot of different things. If you guys are wanting to know how to have sex magic to manifest, I am going to discuss a little bit of that today. For example, oral sex. Oral sex has magic within it. I've been talking about this for years, even before I came out as a practitioner, okay, as an alchemist. Okay, I've been talking about this for years, about how oral sex is a language. Okay. And so I've noticed that a lot of people are very funny when it comes to oral sex. And then, but the reason why oral sex even exists is for a higher spiritual purpose. Okay. So, for example, in sex magic, a man can cause a woman to be his love slave forever if he ejaculates in her mouth. Okay. That is her taking in his essence and him becoming a part of her which will cause her to never want to let him go. Okay. And so it's same thing, vice versa, when it comes to women. This is why there's always this whole thing about a woman, putting her menstrual in the spaghetti. Now, I don't know where this started. I do. I can tell you exactly where it started. It started with a woman and a man, and they were in love with each other, and the woman wanted to ensure the man's was going to stick by her, right? So she probably wanted to introduce him to her menstrual fluid. Menstrual fluid is the same thing as semen. Okay, so if you want to learn more about that, you guys can contact me about menstrual fluid. And we can talk about that, because a lot of people on YouTube, it's a lot of children on YouTube, and it's a lot of unlearned adults on YouTube that have no idea what they're doing. They're having sex for the pure pleasure of it, but they're not really getting any pleasure and satisfaction because they don't have money to pay their own bills, which is hilarious. You can't have a good sexual experience, if the gas is getting ready to get turned off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess you still could once it's turned off, you can just go ahead and just cuddle up, I imagine after the shock is gone, but I like to live comfortably. So, but it's the same thing when a woman starts to give a man herself during her menstrual. That means that the man, she's irresistible. He's, once he gets that part of her connected to him, then that's going to cause him to never go away. But to be honest with you, you don't have to do that. The sex is enough. So a lot of people, so then a woman said, you know what? He didn't want to take it willingly, so I'm just going to put it in a food. Like, it's not just spaghetti. You can also put period blood in a man's Bloody Mary. You can put period blood, fresh period blood on top of his steak. And it'll be the best steak that he ever tasted, and he don't even know. So that is a part of sex alchemy. When a man wants to give a woman his semen, that is a love offer within itself, right? That's a love offer. And so a lot of people don't understand that. And it depends on the person that you're talking about. Because I have seen, and I have had men addicted to me for years, still are, they still contact me. And the reason why is because I have a very healing effect. Now, for me, when it comes to sex, what I can tell you is that it is supposed to be a healing experience. It is a mistake for a lot of you women and men to walk around sexually frustrated. This is not good. Okay, now I've seen married couples doing this, so it's not just single people. Everybody always want to put all the crap off on single people and mothers and and women, which, most women are single. Everybody always talking about folks that's single, but most women in this world are single, because there's about 10 women to every man. So being that they don't allow most people to practice polygamy, there's a lot of single women out there, isn't it? Tons of them. Just take your pick. There's millions of single women out there of all races and sizes and shapes and body types. Okay. So when it comes to sex alchemy, we see sex alchemy all the time. We see sex alchemy all the time. We see it when a artist releases a sex tape, don't we? That's considered to be sex alchemy because sex sells, right? So anytime sex is something that's very powerful, but if you are somebody that is interested in sex alchemy and sex magic, then you may be able to manifest whatever it is that you want, whether or not it's healing, whether or not it's money, whether or not it's a new house or a new car. You know, a lot of times when people talked about sex alchemy, they weren't necessarily talking about you sleeping with several different people for money to obtain that. What they were talking about was you manifesting that out of your own sexual energy with someone else or by yourself. Now, having sex magic by yourself can be very, very it can be very, very risky because of entities and demons and other spirits. Sex is almost like, you know how in the Bible it tells you it forbids against masturbation? Well, sex can sometimes be, or masturbation can sometimes be like playing with a Ouija board by yourself. It's kind of the same concept. You know how they say don't play by yourself? I know they said that in a movie, but I think that somebody was saying people are extremely afraid of Ouija boards. But people are extremely afraid of sex and sex magic. They're afraid of it. Even in their own marriages. They rather feed off of innocent people than to conjure up their own sex energy. So your sex energy is either taken from you, or it might be dead, or it might be unactivated. And see, that's not good because your crown chakra is not going to get any energy. So you notice that a lot of women in particular that are going long term without sex, they have alopecia. Okay. And you know that plagues the Black community. A lot of people in the Black community have alopecia to where they've got bald spots or balding. That in men too, not just women, the men too. And the reason why is because you're not using sex for what it is, first of all. So if you have somebody that is experienced in sex magic, you know, and for me, I'm not the type of person to give up all of my sex magic at once to all of my partners. And that's really what they want you to do. But when you know what they're doing, you know, so when it comes to sex magic, you need to also know, you know, some of the tricks that men use to keep you, you know, hemmed up and tied up to where, you know, you can't even breathe without them. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen a lot of men that want you to be to the point where where you can't even breathe or think without them. And see, that's not good. But there's a lot of men that can put that sex magic on you and it's their intent. So you may get all, you know, fuzzy wuzzy, and see, men that do stuff like that are lower chakra anyway. So they just need to be taught. They unlearned. So if you're a practitioner, then you just have to teach them sometimes. But a lot of you guys need to understand and see, this is something that took me years and years to understand. Doesn't mean that I have to go out and sleep with everybody that wants to sleep with me, or I have to go out and no. It's not about being a hoe, and it's not about having AIDS. You know, that's the first thing that people say. When you say the word sex or vagina or penis, people think of AIDS because a lot of the television programming and your family members have maybe programmed you. And that's not good either, because that's going to kill your kundalini as well. Caller, I'm going to get you. I see we have a caller on the line. Has been waiting. Let me see what this caller is talking about. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, this is basically just want to take a show. I don't really have too much else to contribute.
I'm sorry. I am having a really, really hard time hearing you.
Yeah, I'm at work. I'm sorry. I was just listening to the show.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. What did you have any questions or comments?
No, I was just listening. Good show though.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, I'll put you. I'll mute you then. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah,
All right, guys. So he's just listening. But if you guys have any questions, or if you want to add any input, or mainly if you have questions about your own sexual energy, because your sexual energy is important. Your sexual energy is not supposed to be dead. Your root chakra is supposed to be red. When I look at a lot of you guys' aura around your root chakra, I see gray and even sometimes black. Some of y'all is kind of whitish, which means that you've got some energy that needs to be unleashed. Some of you guys have that white, hot, electric Kundalini energy that needs to disperse through your body. And you can do that either with meditation, and you can also do it with sex, but you want to be careful with it and do it sometimes in the bathtub, which is why having sex in water is so popular. Because once you unleash sexual energy, it's going to dissipate through your body. Hold on a second, guys. Hold on. I don't know how a child got loose in here. Hold on a minute. There. Sorry. Anyway, guys, I'm back. So a lot of you guys, the sexual energy will dissipate through it'll go through your body and it goes up to your root chakra. So this is why, it's a known fact that women that have more sex have longer hair. They do. And it is because there is a special protein that men have. And it's not just a physical protein, it's a protein that's coming off of their pheromones in their bodies. So pheromones play a very, very important part when it comes to sex magic. So can you just have sex magic with anyone? Not necessarily, because that person's energy has to be in the right place. So for example, if you are a practitioner or if you are somebody that is a sensitive, you almost have to practice sex magic. And, make sure. Now, let me just tell y'all something. You can have sex magic every time you have sex. You're having sex magic. But you can actually do an actual ritual. There's special rituals that you can do. One of them, of course, it involves all types of sex. Whatever sex heightens your sexual awareness, or whatever type of sex that heightens you up. Now, a lot of people will use porn and stuff, and that's okay sometimes, but that's going to depend largely on who you're watching. So hold on a second, guys. I will be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So Um, you can use sex magic for various purposes. You can use sex magic for banishing. Let's say, for example, you want to get rid of a certain female off of your man. You can actually have sex with him with an intent to push that other person away, and they'll go away, you know, or either it'll pull him closer. Now, I'm just telling y'all, a lot of y'all need to understand that there's a lot of people that are open to extra energies on the outside of the relationship. It's not just somebody nasty. You know how people that are immature sexually, they'll say, oh, you nasty, you a nasty slut or whatever, because, you're having sex with women. Well, you know what? Women can manifest sex magic together. Two women can heal each other together, especially if you got two healers. Now, I will tell you that it is quite different when you are dealing with the difference between having sex with a woman and having sex with a man. But it's all about the perception. There are a lot of women that cannot stand having sex with men. It feels like they're driving a knife through their vagina. That it just, their perception is that it hurts. But there are some women that have a perception that vaginal intercourse with a man feels very good. There are some women that, think that sex with men is okay, but they can't orgasm vaginally. This is an area that's in your brain. So if you can't orgasm, if you can't reach an orgasm, there is a problem. Okay. So I actually provide sex counseling to people, just to let you guys know. And then also individual sex magic courses. Like I said, I do my readings either by Skype, and I do my sessions either by Skype or by phone. And you know what? I use a lot of my guides, which is either a flame, the smoke, the cards, which the cards represent air. Okay. All tarot cards represent air because you're using your vision, your sight, and also other things to read them. So everybody has an individual thing that they need. So that's why I do my classes on an individual basis. And I can even record a class on video, but I don't like don't think that I'm gonna be on video, half naked and I'm gonna, give you a no, it's nothing like it's, well, yeah, I'm a visually sexual person. People usually visually enjoy me, so I don't need to do that. I don't need to do all that because people usually enjoy me visually anyway. Okay, but I don't do that. I am, I am a real teacher. But who's to say that people that do that are not real teachers? But it will be very straight to the point, and you'll get a lot out of it. Is what I'm telling you, because I can read your sex magic energy with the cards. So if you guys want me to do a sexual energy reading for you today, I still have a few minutes left. I do want to come back because this is one of the things that Archangel Raphael is actually standing by, and also Archangel Michael. They believe in sex magic. They believe in sex alchemy. The angels do. Sex is not a bad thing in the universe. It's not. It's only bad here on earth that want to use your sexual energy to exploit you. Okay. But other than that, sexual energy is not bad. Okay. So we've been taught that over and over again. And we've been taught to feel bad. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. There's a very, very specific sex alchemy ritual that is done all the time, which involves shame, humiliation, Okay. And it does have something to do with, a lot of people's religious beliefs that sex is bad, you should be ashamed. So what has happened is that a lot of us have somewhat developed like a sexual kink to that. So that can actually be used in sex magic. You can actually heal yourself of any kind of religious sexual abuse as well, just by using role play. So, for example, when you see people displaying behaviors like dressing up as a nun, or you see a woman dressing up as a nun, or either another man or another woman dressing up as a priest, and he's like whipping her or something, he's telling her that she's, bad, and he's trying to get the demon to come out of her. Okay. And so, it's the same thing. So that is a very popular sex magic ritual. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I'm gonna get this wrapped up because I got a reading to do in a couple of minutes. Um, but what I was gonna say is that um that's actually a ritual when people do things like that. Because what it does is it combines both good energies and bad energies, because nuns are usually wearing black and white, and so are priests. Priests are usually wearing black and white. So that is actually an example of what some people would consider to be a satanic sex alchemy, sex magic ritual. That can actually be healing to your spirit. I know you guys are like, what in the world? Because I can see this person that said, what it's hard for the average person to understand. But this is why we see this a lot in porn. There's like millions of porn videos out there that are very satanic and sacrilegious, that involves a nun who is being denied sex, and that nun's kundalini energy breaking through. Okay. So that is considered to be, and it's perceived as to be sin. But in my opinion, it's not sin. Okay. I believe this is why there's a lot of people that are sick and dying. And I believe that when people began to, fall under this whole thing, and I feel like people just began to become healed, which is why we're seeing these, many, many changes that are happening within our world, including the legalization of marijuana and cannabis. Okay. And there's going to be a few other things that are going to be legalized as well. So I don't know what happened to my, there we go. So, you know, your body is what is considered to be something that is sacred, that withholds sacred energy. For example, a woman's uterus is not just a uterus. This is a portal. It's a portal. So a lot of people don't look at it that way. They just look at it as flesh. They do not understand their divine consciousness. And that divine consciousness has not been woken up in them yet. So sex becomes a different experience, you know, and it can either be whatever you want. You don't always have to be having some kind of sex ritual all the time. Sometimes you just want to have sex just because you enjoy having sex. But the whole point of it is you can use it to manifest. You can use it to heal your body. You can use it to manipulate. You can, you know, so sex magic can be used in many different ways, but bringing yourself to a tranquil and peaceful place is supposed to be the number one. So this is why we've got so many people that are trying to actually do harm to you, and they're telling you that your sexual energy is bad and that it's dirty and that it's disgusting. And that's not the truth. Okay, so you guys can contact me. I'm going to wrap this up, and I will be talking more about sex alchemy and sex magic for healing, as well as other ways of healing. But a lot of you guys that are going years and years and years without sex, and you're self-medicating so that you don't think about sex, and you're popping pills, and you're trying to put things out of your mind, that lets you know that you're not living right. If you actually have to take a medication, a drug, to stop you from feeling afraid of living, because in order for you to want to have sex, you have to have vitality in life. So when people are eating and having sex, they are alive, aren't they? But people that are just sitting there literally, you know, causing atrophy to your sexual organs is what you're doing as a woman and as a man. You're not sacred. You're violating the natural law, and it's not right. And that's why your body is turning to cancer. And that's why you're sad and you're depressed and you're angry and you're attacking your own family members. This is why you're doing this. Okay, so Archangel Raphael is an angel. Anything that you see me doing that involves healing involves Archangel Raphael. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something that's weird, and I'm going to get out of here. When you decode the show Supernatural, Dean Winchester is Archangel Raphael, and the brother is kind of like Archangel Michael. That's what a lot of people don't realize about that particular show. So this is why it was important for Dean Winchester to have a lot of sex with different women, and for him to be fighting evil. And he's, you know, he's basically doing the same thing that a lot of alchemists and people that are, that are following their spirituality or either dealing with their own demons. But Archangel Raphael wants us to heal through sex magic. So is Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was introducing us to sex magic and sexual healing through his song, Sexual Healing. And it's not that you have to be ashamed if you are somebody that has closed off your sexual energy. I'm not telling you to be ashamed of it. It's just a phase that you're going through in life. And a lot of people have phases in life. And I feel like that's one of them. Okay. But to love yourself is going to attract lovers. and you're going to have the love and the sex and the sexual energy that you need in your life. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want to contact me about that further, you can actually go to the website and look up online classes. And I'm pretty sure that I got those updated. I'm going to make sure that I have that updated real quick, because I do have witchcraft courses on there. And you guys can just do that too. And you can just say, hey, Jamila, I want a sex magic course. If you guys want a sex magic reading, I don't care if you're male or female or hermaphrodite, whatever you are. You can be a transgender, male, female, gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual. If you want a sexual reading, you can contact me. Because look, don't ever let anybody tell you that just because you're gay or just because you're straight or just because you're bisexual or just because you're a single parent or just because you graduated high school 2 years later than what you were supposed to, that you're not worthy of healing, because you are. Because when we can start healing each other individually, then we can heal this whole goddamn planet. Hello? So this is what we're going to do. Okay? So hold on a second, guys. I will be okay, guys. So I'm going to get this wrapped up because I've got a reading to do in like 15 minutes. And then I'm waiting on my daughter to get back to come and get her baby. The baby just woke up. You guys can go to the website and you will see on the website. Here, get her real quick and take her, because I gotta wrap this up. I have to wrap this up. Baby, your mama needs to hurry up and get back here. I told her, I said I knew she was gonna wake up. Okay. You guys can go to the website and you'll see the beginners, the intermediate, and the advanced. You can actually use any one of those for sex magic. Okay. And then I may come back and do a sex magic, sex alchemy, healing sexual alchemy. Okay. And, if you are somebody that's just like, look, I'm a loner, I don't have anybody, I don't want anybody, I just want to be left alone, then yes, you can get a self-mastery class, and that is available on the website, because you can't just stop all of your sexual feelings like that. That is very dangerous. Your body is not getting enough sexual oxygen and energy. Okay. So you can contact me below at the website, and I'll see you guys next time. Love